Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Donna Thiesel, and I'm your host of Donna's Edge Television Talk Show, where truth matters. Thank you so much for watching every day, Monday through Friday, beginning at 1 p.m. as I get to ride home with you in the afternoon. You can find us syndicated on television, and that is with Abundant Television, found on Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire. And don't forget the podcast on thenewscasters.com. So happy to be back on the radio again. So on Saturdays, now beginning at 9 a.m. You're going to be listening to Donna's Edge Television Talk Show. This is on WZLA, and they are 92.9 FM. And I'm going to tell you what, I really love this station. These folks are just a blast. You have to listen to the morning show there as well. So they are a lot of fun to be around, and I'm just glad to be part of that team as well. But again, thank you so much for watching. Continue sending email, Donna@donnasedge.com. That's Donna@donnasedge.com. So I have my friend Rick Staines with me right now. We've been friends for 20-something years or so. We're getting old. I mean, now we sound like my grandparents. It's been 20 years.
It's been a long time. Yeah.
It really has. So, just really good friends, and they're, what's through the good times and the bad times all as well. But I kind of feel this little good time thing happening here. I know that, Charlie Kirk was gunned down or shot and lost his life, but I'm seeing this whole new America trying to evolve.
Yeah, I was reading something a little bit earlier about some local elections that went on, and the Democrats got absolutely destroyed. I mean, we're talking about people coming out, and you're talking about like returns of like 71 to 80% on the Republican side, whereas the Democratic side was like 30 and below. It's just crazy. Yeah, it's amazing. So yeah, unfortunately, that happened. It's completely senseless, but every so often something comes along and changes the trajectory of the human race and the psyche and where we're going to go and how it's going to pan out. So
it's not just the United States. I mean, this guy is actually affecting the rest of the world. Yeah. It's not some Koreans out there with shirts on that say "We are Charlie." Mm-hmm. Koreans,
even in Britain. I mean, they had a big following in Britain. And they did I was actually, I got a little bit choked up actually, because, obviously I'm still very proud to be British, even though Britain right now is a mess. But they did a very, very nice, memorial to Charlie. And I just, I've got some very left-wing friends. And funny enough, I was on a plane the other day. I went back to Rhode Island for a security survey, and I got talking to a French guy who's actually been in America for 20 odd years. And he private pilot, lives in Rhode Island on the coast. So he has waterfront property. And he said, he goes, I bet your taxes aren't as much as mine. I said, okay. So I told him what my taxes were. His taxes per year for his property were $24,000.
Oh my God.
And I was like, oh my, wow. But such a nice guy. I mean, yes, he was left wing. We discussed politics, and it was like a very minute. But we got on like a house on fire. We actually spoke for 2 hours. Mm-hmm. And at the end of it, he goes, can I have your number? Said, sure. And he goes, and if you ever come back up this way, call. He goes, come stay at the house. He said, more welcome. I asked him where he's from. He was from Corsica. I said, I've been to Corsica, because he goes home every year. Really nice guy. And as we're like in the baggage hall, I said to him, you know what? You're not bad. You're not bad for a Frenchman. And he said, and you not bad for Anglaise. And I'm like, okay, yeah, well, because but it was really nice to talk to somebody of a completely different political persuasion and just have a normal conversation about.
You can. I mean, there's no sense in the backbiting, yelling, screaming stuff. And I think what I liked about Charlie Kirk is there was no screaming. I mean, he just said what he had to say and let it go.
Yeah, very much to the point. And I think that's what people didn't like. I mean, he was very educated, even though, people were just like, well, he didn't go to college. You don't have to go to college to learn. You can literally, if you want to, go on YouTube and literally learn everything you can at college for free. Mm-hmm. You just don't get a bit of paper saying that you've done. But I mean,
who needs it?
Yeah, the guy could talk. The
Mhm.
guy could talk, and that was his weapon. Is that he knew the arguments and he had answers for things, and then and he also was willing to learn, and that was another thing, And people don't like, they don't see that. A lot of people don't see that. They just go like, no, he was a bigot, and take the sound bites. In fact, one of my friends was complaining about the sound bites, and I'm like, yeah, that's the problem with the society we live in, is that they take everything in a short sound bite. They don't look at the big picture or watch the whole thing. Or, as we know, read more than the headline, because the headline's normally what they go with.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Now, Brad has sent me videos for years from this guy, and one that really stuck with me. There was a guy who thinks he's a woman, college kid, and so he had on a pink dress. And I got to ask what your thoughts are on this. Why is this? Okay, when a man thinks he's a woman, he wants to wear something that makes him look like he's in a Cinderella movie or something. It was like the evening.
Why are you asking me? I got no idea.
I mean, what the heck? I mean, can't you at least wear stylish dresses? I mean, but anyway, he had on this pink dress and had ruffles and stuff all over it and weird hair, the whole works. And so Charlie just sat there and looked at it. He didn't make fun of the guy, none of that. He just looked at it and let him finish his sentences. And then he just asked the guy, he said, have you had surgery yet? And he said, no. And he said, he's preparing for the surgery. He said, he's taking hormones and all this stuff, And he said, well, I'm going to beg you to do this. He said, go talk with someone, a counselor, preferably a Christian counselor. Talk with a counselor before you have someone mutilate your body.
Yeah.
But when he said mutilate your body, the guy kind of was taken back when he said that. And he said, that's what's going to happen to your body. Your body's going to be mutilated.
It'll never be the same, yeah. No, never be the same. I mean, you asked me about wearing a dress. I mean, I
didn't mean to ask you about
No. Well, you see, my take on that is I grew up with Monty Python, so I was used to seeing men wear dresses to pretend to be women on a show, but they did it because they didn't have women on the show. They had one woman, Carol Cleveland.
Yeah. Well,
so when they all needed to be women, especially when they were the Batley Women's Battle Reenactment Society, and they would go to a muddy field to reenact a famous battle like they did Pearl Harbor, and they all just like in 60s coats, hats, smacking each other with handbags, rolling in the mud, which for me was funny.
I know, see? Okay, the Marilyn Monroe movie, The 7-Year Itch. Is that the one where, the dudes, because they want to go on this plane with the women, so they have to dress up like, it was funny. I mean, it was meant to be a comic thing.
Because there wasn't anything sexual about it. There wasn't anything sexual about it. I mean, they weren't trying to sexualize it. They weren't trying to say that they were actually women could have childbirth and, they needed tampons in their toilets because they were like, for some miraculous reason, they were having a period. I mean, they weren't doing that. They were just doing it because it was fun. It was part of the film. Even some of the movies, like was it Princess of the Desert, whatever, with I can't think of his name. He just died recently. Priscilla, Queen of the Desert.
And
great movie
with Dustin Hoffman. That was such a funny movie.
Yes. Yeah.
I mean,
even Mrs. Doubtfire. There was a reason why, and it was funny. But again, it wasn't overtly sexual. It was just he needed to be someone warm and nanny-like to be close to his mum to get the trust. Be near his kids to get the trust of his mum or their mum. So yeah, but yeah, pretending to be a woman. Have you ever seen Afterlife with Ricky Gervais?
No.
Okay, probably not. I mean, it's a very funny show. Ricky Gervais is very, very funny. Very, it's a funny show, but it's also very sad because it's about a guy who's lost his wife and he's going through that grieving process. But he lives in a little town in England and he works for the local newspaper. So he goes around and interviews people for news slots. And he goes to one and the guy's dressed as a woman and he pretends he wants to be known as an 8-year-old schoolgirl. His wife's sitting there and then his daughter comes in. She goes, "Dad, really? Are you going to do this again?" He goes, "Can we play dollies later?"
Yes.
It's so funny.
We're living in Charlotte, and I mean, I speak to everybody, So this guy comes in. I know it's a man, and so he has on like a dress and all this stuff. I had this really nice consignment shop, like very upscale. Women would get mad at their rich husbands and buy Louis Vuitton handbags and then bring them to me to sell. And usually they pay like $10,000, $20,000 for a bag. But anyway, this guy, he comes in the store. And so we actually turned out, we talked with each other. And I welcomed him to come to the store and all this stuff. And so anyway, after a few times, he said, "Do you want to see what I looked like when I was a man?" And I said, "Yeah, I want to see what you look like when you're a man." He looked like Denzel Washington, for goodness sakes.
Oh, wow.
And I told him, I said, "You need to be a man." I said, "You look like Denzel Washington. People had to tell you you do." And he said, "Yeah, they tell me that all the time." And I said, "You look handsome as a man. You need to be a man." He looked like Michelle Obama, really. I mean, he was really tall and gawky looking, and closed it. And I'll never forget the FedEx guy came in one time, and this guy had on like hot pants and a halter top. The FedEx guy came in to deliver a package to me, and he looked over at him and went, I almost dropped the package. And I was just like,
it's funny because you said Denzel, and it's not Denzel. He actually corrected. I was watching a talk show, and he corrected.
What is it?
Denzel. It's because when I first saw his name, you don't say Denzel, it's Denzel.
Then why does everybody else call him Denzel?
Because they've been making a mistake. He said everybody's been calling me the wrong name for years, and he goes, I just let him go with it. But he actually corrected it. He goes, it's Denzel Washington, not Denzel. Yeah, Denzel Washington.
Denzel Washington.
Denzel, not Denzel.
It's
Denzel.
not the same.
Like an A, but it's just Again, I call my wife Tanya when she was grown up, called Tanya. And I'm like, oh, that sounds I'm English. Tanya is what works. That's how it's spelled.
How does she spell her name?
Tanya.
Then it's Tanya.
Yeah, but they say Tanya. I'm like, yeah, but you see, the trouble is with, and I'm not slamming the Americans because but over here, like with my surname, I'll get called Steins. And I go, why do you call me Steins? And they go, because we're using the German voweling. I said, but you're American and you don't use the German voweling in anything else apart from my name.
I never thought of Steins.
And they go, Staines. And I'm like, no, it's Staines. It's the same as Staines without the E. So it's like, come on.
Try Fiesel.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure you get fun, yeah.
People put an R in front of it. They call us Frizzell. I mean, I've been called Donna Frazier, Frickle, whatever. And nobody ever gets the name right, which I could care less whether they pronounce it right or not. But it's just, it's just how, There's a little town in Boaz, close to Boaz, Alabama, and it's pronounced Aurora, Alabama. So I was going through there. I was trying to find a destination one time. And so I stopped at a service station. And so I asked this dude who comes out, and I said, can you tell me where Aurora is? And he said, Aurora. He said, what are you talking about, Aurora? And I said, well, it's supposed to be around here. You've never heard of it? And he said, oh, you mean Aurora. I said, Aurora? Mm-hmm. And I said, it's spelled Aurora, right? Wouldn't that be Aurora? But anyway, I didn't fuss with him anymore. So anyway, they pronounced it Aurora.
Yeah.
And made fun of all of us for saying Aurora.
It's like there's like a place in Michigan called Lake Orion. But when I say it, it'd be Orion, because it's the constellation spelling, and they're going like, no, it's Orion. I'm like, it's Orion.
They're from there. Go by the way they say it. That's what I had to do.
You don't argue with anybody. You just go, okay. I used to live in a town in England called Haverhill, and people would say no. And people from outside the area would call it Haverhill. You go like, no, it's Haver, Haver, Haverhill, Hill. One word, Haverhill. They go like, it's Haverhill. No, it's Haverhill.
Well, you better believe I have learned my lesson. When you mispronounce the locals' names, they will make fun of you. That's just the way it goes. So before I even moved in, I found locals, and I would just ask them, how do you pronounce this town? How do you pronounce this one? Whatever. And it wouldn't be made fun of. So
what's the best way to do it? You know, you go to England and you look at this, you know, some of the words and some of the like Worcestershire. You know, no one can say it over here. Worcestershire.
Worcestershire.
Worcestershire. They say they want to say the Shire. Edinburgh, and you go like, no, it's Edinburgh. Again, if you learn from the language, and it's the same with if you're learning French. I always used to ask them to say the word and then show me how they wrote the word or how the word looked, because then I could try and build a mental picture of why they were pronouncing it. Like, but their vowelling is different. They say their vowels different, so they have different sounds. So when you say them, it doesn't sound like an English word. And sometimes.
Do you remember when Kathy asked you if you were from Australia?
I get asked that so many times, I've forgotten.
And you became so unglued, and it was like, it's okay, Rick.
You know, and I do feign it now because people are always asking me, "Oh, where you from?" Because that's the first thing I say to them. I said, "They'll go, oh, where are you from?" I said, "I'll give you one guess. If you get it wrong, I'm going to get mad." And they go, "You Australian?" I'm going, nah, mate, I'm not from Australia. No, I don't speak like that all the time. I don't round that off a little bit." And then they'll go like New Zealand. I've had North Alabama.
New Zealand?
Yeah, because New Zealand and Australia is very, very close. I mean, they're very, very close in their accent. South African's like a dirty Australian accent. I've been called South African too as well. I'm like, no.
Oh, well, I've got to tell you, the most beautiful dialect of the English language is in South Uganda, Africa. It's so poetic. They speak English and Swahili. So, but the English version. I could just sit and listen to them talk all day. I mean, they could quote, you know, like a child nursery or whatever, and it sounds poetic. It's beautiful.
Did you ever do your DNA? So I did mine, and because they've now refined it, they keep refining it. So I looked on there the other day, and they further refined it. So I know that, you know, my dad's side of the family, at least 5 generations ago back to Cornwall, which is, you know, I feel like I've got a very Cornish like heritage. But my mum's side and part of my dad's side too is now been defined as from, and I love it. Because the only 2 accents I really love are the German accent and the Yorkshire accent, and we're now apparently our family generated from North Yorkshire. Yorkshire, all right. So I can speak like that now and feel perfectly at home, right? Because they round all their vowels up the further you get up England. So, like in the south, we'd say bucket, whereas in the Yorkshire, do they book it? It's just
book it like I booked it. I booked the flight.
But not as in book it. It's a bucket. I put with water in me bucket.
I put me water in me bucket.
Honestly, I do. I love accents and I love words. I love doing the German accent. The German accent for me, but with an English slant to it. As always, the professor is always German. It's got to be the professor as a German accent. So I do this one where I'm a psychologist, a German psychologist, and I talk to the camera, pretending to be a German psychologist.
People think you are,
and people think I'm mad. Never mind that they think
I'm crazy. Is what they think.
I'm crazy. Yeah.
Well, we tried to help you with Southern English, and we just could never make that happen.
Yeah, someone asked me the other day why I don't speak with an American accent. And because it's like I don't feel like it's me talking. When I hear me talking with an American accent, I have to be a character.
I never hear you talk with an American accent.
That's because you won't, honey. You won't. I got to be real drunk to get.
Well, feed me some cornbread. Okay.
See, if I do, I go into an Alabama. Go to an Alabama accent. I go to a Southern accent when I'm, because it's the easiest one to do because that's where I've spent most of my time. So, because there's all those words like, obviously over yonder. But my ex-mother-in-law, she got, I knowed you did that. Always with the D on it. No, you did that.
You did.
I know
you did it.
Yep.
She's probably taking up for her daughter at that time when she said that.
No,
I know you did it.
No, she was taking up for herself. She was always,
Well,
on the guard with me. But
that's different.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, accents. I'll never lose this one. I mean, it's there forever. But some people in my family think I'm being uppity, and I'm like, how am I being uppity? They say you don't sound like the rest of us, and I'm kind of like, thank Jesus.
Well, because you may be. I mean, you still talk with your southern twang.
I did. Yeah.
I mean, maybe because if you're enunciating. See, with me, I don't speak with the accent that I'm supposed to have. I don't. And the reason being is because I was talking to one of the guys at work. He goes, "Oh, so no, it's actually my son-in-law." He said, he went to this shop the other day, and a guy came out the back. And he's like, "Hello, mate. Oh, how you doing?" Like, he's from London. He goes, "Yeah, that's the one." Because he was like, he had an accent. He goes, "You've done it before." And I went like that. He said, "Yeah." I said, "Now that would be where I was born, but I grew up in Suffolk, and they talk like that with tractors and stuff. I'd be on the tractors and the pigs and going down the farm, rounding it off a little bit. They were countrified. See, and I can't. I mean, I wouldn't get anywhere with that accent here. I just wouldn't. You'd have to round it off, which is what I did with my accent anyway. Just rounded it off and flattened it out.
Well, my granddad taught me. He was a choir director at church, and this guy really knew how to use words and how to reflect and how to, pronounce a word. It used to drive him nuts when people in the choir, when people would not pronounce a word correctly.
Doesn't that annoy you?
So
Supposedly.
you're from the country,
yeah,
and that's fine. You talk with a Southern accent, but you need to learn how to enunciate. You need to, you have words that you need to pronounce the correct way. And I mean, and really, he grew up in Alabama, lived nowhere but, and it would drive him absolutely insane the way people would, and he would, like during a choir practice, he would just stop everything and he would say, "It's not how you pronounce that word."
When you do, it's words that people mispronounce. Supposedly is another one. Not supposedly, supposedly. You go like, you look at them, you go like, okay, you're going to go with that one.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a whole slew of them. If they know one, they know them all. It's like when you're around people and they go axe, not ask. And you go like, okay. I mean, you want to correct them, but it's pointless because they're not going to change anything.
Mm-hmm.
So.
It just drive him crazy. At the end of a song, sometimes it would say "Amen," and people would say "Amen, Amen," and they'd say,
right.
"No,
yeah, no, Amen,
Amen." And so I've never lived anywhere else, but reading his books, he was self-taught, very self-taught, and so like he had a 9th grade education. You would have never thought it. When I heard Charlie Kirk only had 1/4 of college, I was like, okay, he has common sense.
See,
my dad had this massive amount of common sense.
Yeah, a lot of common sense, but also, I mean, he just had a passion. He just had a passion that, for not only life, people going like, yeah, he's anti-women. Okay. You looked at his wife. Have you really looked at his wife and her achievements? So, he married somebody who was like, an alpha female who wasn't going to sit there and listen to, oh, you're going to stay at home and, you're going to do this. No, she's got wings, and she's got businesses. She's very educated. Not only that, beauty queen, So you ask people, how do you get this information? Who told you that?
Uh-huh.
CNN
CNN told me, so I'm a robot. And so I will, whatever they say, I'm going to believe it. It's such a nonsense. I mean, the first time I saw her speak, I was like you. Where are you getting this nonsense that she's some downtrodden wife? She doesn't act like it to me.
Well, because the other thing now is, who's the guy that's come back out of retirement? I was watching him do an invitational talk, And he was brutal. I mean, if you thought Charlie Kirk was like out there, I mean, this guy is Milo. Milo is brutal. But I mean, again, brutal in his honesty.
I don't kind of like that. I dig it. See, I never thought Donald Trump was rude. My dad is like Donald Trump. They just say whatever
You
came
just
out of
say
his
whatever
mouth.
it is. I mean, the trouble is because we've got this cotton wall thing that everybody wanted to have, where we had to protect everything from baddie words, and it's got that way now right across the world. England's really bad. Well, Britain in general is really bad about hurty words. In fact, I think Katie, what's his name? She was arrested the other week. I think what's her name? She's always doing like the, what's wrong about shit Britain. Very outspoken. And she's arrested for saying things that have upset somebody. Trump, we know, says things. Apparently this Milo, I was watching him and he was telling these people, what we didn't want in this country, and then pointing out the facts to certain members of the people, the audience that were from those places, that you're supporting what you've brought with you. And it's all about a certain area of the world bringing certain things to this country. He goes, well, we don't want all that. It's happening in Britain too. Where you get, the Sharia law thing for one, nobody wants Sharia law, but you're going to get it. Minneapolis is basically gone. Minneapolis, Minnesota, that's going to be, the Somalis have taken Minneapolis now.
Have you seen some of the videos?
Yeah. And
it's incredible. You would think you were in Iran.
Yeah. They do not care about anybody that's from America. Not one iota.
Okay. So let me ask you a question. Okay. So you have some of these stupid leftist women who are actually going along with this nonsense. Okay. Where, a man and a woman have an affair. They're gonna put the woman and dig her down in a deep hole where her head is only showing, and they'll throw rocks and stone her to death. The guy gets by with it. So why are they taking up for this nonsense?
No idea. It makes no sense to me. And then they go over there trying to. I've seen couples go over there saying that we're going on some kind of mission to and be with these people, and you end up going to their country and then they're getting killed, and you're like, did you not work out? They don't like you. They don't like you. End of story. Whether you're here, whether you're there. There, it's actually easier for them to do it. It's actually easy for them to do it here because right now it's the same in Britain. They get away with it.
Well, this Omar woman who is in office right now, she was married to her brother so that she could become an American citizen. Nobody talks about this. It's a little out there.
Well, and she got 4 Republicans to actually vote her. They kept her in because they were going to kick her out.
Stupid Republicans.
Yeah, and and they were named and shamed, and it's like then you get people like AOC, who's part of that little group, who then a couple of days ago she announces that she's going to maybe do a presidential run, and then 2 days later she's slamming the whole Charlie Kirk thing, and you're like, do you really think that that's going to help you right now? It's a little bit like Gavin Newsom. Yeah, Gavin Newsom's another one. His head's so far up his backside, he can probably see through his own mouth. But so in California now, they've actually passed the bill. All he's got to do is sign it into law, where they are the free speech. People want free speech, right? And so the California government will shut you down because they've just passed laws. If you say anything, fines of up to $1 million. This is all it's just waiting for is his signature, and then it's law. So if you're in California and you say something they don't like, you're going to be censored and you're going to be fined. That's not free speech. Free speech protects you from that, but you want them to define free speech for you. It's crazy. Absolutely nuts.
You want them to refine it. Yeah. Okay. My friend Victoria Lee Scott lives in LA, and So she is actually with the Newscaster Studio. You got to meet her. You need a podcast. I mean, you'd love her. She's just crazy, crazy. She's from New York and moved to California.
Wow.
And so she said, it's nothing like you think. She said, most people here are actually conservatives.
Mm.
And I said, well, your government isn't. And I said, why do they keep getting back in? And she said, it's the money. It's the money.
Yep, and because basically all of the rural parts of California are red, but the always, and people don't understand this, when people want to move out of places, the people that you don't want going in there go in there, and that's where you get the big pockets. LA, Chicago, and New York, the big voting areas, are really predominantly Democrat because the base is low income, if not immigrant families, that live in these big cities.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where I mean, that's why they wanted to do away with the electoral college, because they could win the election just on those 3 cities alone.
Absolutely. You know, there was an election in Alabama. Less than 10% of the people actually showed up to vote. And apparently it was mostly the immigrants they had in Albertville. You know, I've told you about that situation. And so it used to be such a nice town. I mean, it was just incredible. When we were growing up, it was nice and it was clean. And it was just a good place. And now it's full of Haitians. And I'm going to tell you what, they are mean. They are mean folks. So anyway, folks didn't get out and vote. Guess what? The mayor got back in again. Mm-hmm. The place ICE has actually been to, Albertville, Alabama, at a restaurant. Took everybody out of it. This place is nowhere near. You would think you're in Chicago. And all this guy touts is, well, we brought a bunch of business in. We brought a bunch. Well, it's all retail stuff. It's not really, I mean, you need industry. You know, you need all that stuff coming in too. And that's all he talks about. Well, you know, we got, you know, a bunch of, you know, restaurants and stuff. Yeah. Whoa. Yeah.
No one can spend any money.
People were griping and fussing about him, but they didn't go vote him out.
Right. Yeah. There's 2 things. You've got people going, they want to make change, and then they're completely apathetic. And that was the case up until this last election, when people had enough, and they just went, you know what? No, we're done. The apathy's gone. And so the other side didn't like that. And unfortunately, when they do stuff like they did to Charlie Kirk, where you take somebody out and you do it because they are speaking the truth, they're speaking their mind, and the trouble is that it's very worrying, because, and I was watching some guy on TikTok where he says that, you know, they're using the word, and this happens every so often, where what they're doing is they're making us look like we're not human, we're fascists, so therefore it's okay, it's not murder, it's helping us, it's actually taking out the enemy. They're making you the enemy. They're making you like a faceless person. So it's okay because Charlie Kirk was a fascist, apparently. And you go, no, he wasn't, but that's okay. You just, you know,
not.
No, but this is what they peddle, you know. Mm-hmm. And so, you know, when the election came along, people were like, we're done with this. We're done with this now. And when they go and do you know, they murder somebody and they think it's going to make a change for the better on their side, you just go like, no, especially somebody who was as religious and a deep believer in God and Jesus. When you take somebody out like that, I mean, it's on I say this with the utmost respect, it's on a biblical scale, because you're taking out somebody and it's almost like you're taking out Jesus from way back, because somebody who's so strongly believes in their, and then all you do is you make a martyr out of that person.
And that's exactly what they did. They lit a fire under some people who didn't know what to do. And
now you've got all of these people that, I mean, and the young people have taken up the torch as well. And it's amazing to see these young people come out, well, nothing's going to die with us. We're going to carry the torch. We're going to carry this forward. And you see that, I mean, that belief coming, you know, even from them. They're not frightened anymore. They're not scared anymore. They're going to say what they say. It's kind of refreshing. It's kind of refreshing, you know.
Yeah, because the past couple of generations living in their parents' basement, they were losers, getting themselves in debt. Those kids were raised in that and were fed up with it. Then Charlie Kirk comes along and he's showing you there's another life. You don't have to be like your crazy parents.
Well, that was one of the great things that he did, and that's one of the reasons why he ended up getting killed, was the fact that he was getting to these students, these people, and telling them, you know, what they were being indoctrinated with, and what what was out there for them, and what they could achieve, and what they could believe, and you can be yourself, and I don't see why it doesn't hurt anybody. I don't need to know what sexuality anybody is. Okay, it doesn't bother me. I've got friends that are gay. I don't. It never comes up in conversation. It is you live your life how you want to live your life. Do I like it? It doesn't. If it doesn't bother me, no, I don't care. It doesn't bother me one bit. It's the same with religion. It doesn't. I don't care what you believe in. Just one, don't shove it down people's throats, and two, don't go out there and think that you can take somebody else's life because of what your beliefs are.
Well, I think we're all tired of the yelling and the screaming that we've been hearing for the past few decades. I mean, enough of that already, because it's not working. And when you yell and scream so much, people are not listening to you anymore.
Right. Yeah.
Well, for the most part. There's some who do.
Yeah. And again, it's that when you see someone like Charlie Kirk talk, and he's doing it in a very measured, very, very calm way, and actually telling you facts, and it's very true, because I've always said this, whether you believe the Bible is true, whatever you believe about the
Twin City Used Car Sales has been serving drivers in the Northeast Alabama area for years with a quality selection of late model used cars, SUVs, and pickup trucks. On top of our extensive selection and competitive prices, we offer professional auto financing services for used car buyers of all credit levels. Whether you've just begun your search or you're ready to secure your next vehicle, at Twin City Used Car Sales, you will drive away with the vehicle of your dreams. The sales and finance staff at Twin City Used Car Sales looks forward to serving you, and you can apply for financing online before your visit to our used dealership in Gadsden, Alabama. Check us out on the web at twincityusedcars.com or go by our location at 901 First Avenue, Gadsden, Alabama. We sincerely look forward to serving you. At Lamone's Mexican Restaurant, located in Henniger, Alabama, and voted Best Mexican Restaurant of DeKalb County, Alabama 2020, we're here to serve you with authentic Mexican cuisine. Order easily online by going to lamonsmex.com or call 256-657-3999 to place your order. We're open Sunday through Thursday, 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. and Friday and Saturday, 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Whether you're celebrating a cozy date night for two or a celebration for a crowd, at Lamone's you'll love our atmosphere and friendly servers. Thank you for dining with Lamone's Mexican Restaurant. At Liberty Bank, we're all about community. Whether it's to help with a charity fundraiser or help families in need, toys at Christmas, or a local football team, we're here for you. You see, we realize the importance of family. Sometimes it's to build a new home or necessary home repairs. We're here for you. If you like the feel of a small town bank with all the conveniences of a big city bank, we're here to serve you. You will find us at any of our convenient locations in DeKalb, Marshall, Etowah, and Blount counties in North Alabama. You can call and speak with any of our friendly staff at 256-659-2175 or check us out on the web at libertybankal.com. And thank you for your support of our community. Member FDIC Equal Housing Lender.
I'm excited to announce our Christmas extravaganza is finally here. Get this season's flannel sheets for as low as $59.98. They won't last long, so get them while you can. Our famous My Slippers, they haven't been on sale for over a year. Regularly $119.98, now only $59.98. Our 6-piece towel sets are back in stock with extremely limited quantities, only $29.98. With hundreds of MyPillow products, there's something for everyone on your Christmas list. Bathrobes, duvets, quilts, down comforters, and so much more. So go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code to save on all MyPillow products. For example, flannel sheets for as low as $59.98. Or our 6-piece towel sets, just $29.98. But that's not all. I'm extending our 60-day money-back guarantee until March 1st of 2025. Plus, all orders over $75 or more ship absolutely free.
The only place I buy my beef is Lone Tree Ranch in Collinsville, Alabama. Their cattle is born and raised on their ranch, grass and grain fed, and you can feel confident when you serve your family and friends because their beef is all natural and no antibiotics or hormones are added. You can buy whole beef or perhaps go in with family or friends and buy half. Their customer service is number one as they take care of the delivery to their local processor and can deliver to your home for a small added fee. They also offer herd replacement heifers. I always call Lone Tree Ranch in Collinsville, Alabama for my beef specialty recipes and cookouts, and you can too. Food shortages are increasing, so buy local by calling 256-523-6462. That's 256-523-6462.
We are back. My name is Donna, and I'm your host of Donna's Edge television talk show. I've got my friend Rick Staines with us right now. You know, Rick, something that, especially in the Deep South, you know, so a lot of dudes, they'll say, you know, my wife's got to stay home. I don't want her to work. I don't want her to have a career. I don't want her to have anything outside of this household. There's a book of Proverbs, and it's the very last chapter in Proverbs, and it talks about the perfect woman. This perfect woman was a businesswoman. If you just read it, you know, and so she goes out and she buys a vineyard and then she sells it. I mean, there's all these things that go totally against what some people, maybe their parents or the grandparents told them, and they believe it another way. All you got to do is do a little bit of research on it. Charlie Kirk's wife, like you said before, is anything but the beat down wife.
Yeah, I think with a lot of everything is if you I mean, whatever they're preaching, okay, you can go and do your own research on that because there's going to be a slant on it. There always is. So, because you can go to, that's why there's so many different breakoffs from, you know, Christianity in itself, because you've got different belief systems within that whole system, whether, you know, that Christian religion is covered by so many, and you just pick your poison, if you like. So, you know, because everybody's got their own slant on it. So you can have your own slant on it if you want, or you can just read the book, just read it, and, you know, don't have any opinions. Just go like, okay, this is what it's saying. Okay, because some people go like, well, yeah, but I think what they're saying here. Well, don't think what they say. What are they saying? Don't think what they're saying. Don't put your slant on. It's almost like reading the news these days. Okay, instead of just giving you the facts, they want to give you their point of view, their input, and it's like, no, just give me the facts. Just tell me what it says, and I'll take it from there. Because that's the easy way. Then, because I form my own opinion, I don't need another person sitting there giving me their opinion. Because that's unfortunately where we've been. And then, if you was at school when you wrote anything, and then you say you had to write a book review or a and I don't know why we came away from that, where they accepted that you could have a view on it now and then push that view on to the viewers so that would taint their view.
Yeah, but they have a memo apparently that goes out to everybody, because you can go to all of those channels and they're saying the same thing. So what do? They send them an email and they say, this is what you say today. That's what I have to. I have to question everything. Okay, so now about Trump. I remember when he was elected the first time, it was like headline news. Trump gets 2 scoops of ice cream while everybody else only gets 1. And I'm like, what kind of a headline is that? I mean, I mean, it sounds like something you would say when you're in elementary school. Susie gets 2 scoops. She thinks she's all that. I mean, you know what I mean? That's what it sounds like. I mean, it's so
but then, even if you just, the fact that they can swing stuff and then say stuff as well, it's just like, okay, how can you take a misdemeanor that's actually gone through, it's way past its sell-by date, and then bring it back and turn it into 34 felonies, and you've got half the population believing that he's a felon. He's a convicted felon. You go like, yeah, but if you look at the paperwork, it doesn't ring true. There's nothing in there that you're supposed to. The original crime has to be noted, and then any crime stemming from that.
You know what? I don't listen to any of the nonsense. First of all, if they really had something on Epstein, that would have been brought out how many years ago before he even started running? Somebody, and then he would have backed down. Yeah, you're right. I did it
during the election as well. Yeah, because in the election he would have been slaughtered. Mm-hmm. Because they would have thrown it out of the election. So again, it's just they're literally just trying to grab whatever they can grab to throw something else in the works, to try and slow down the system, to try and stop what he's doing, negate what he's doing, like they did in the first run. Like, okay, well, he didn't do anything. Yes, because you didn't let him do anything, because you're always like either impeaching him or saying or just voting out. It's like, come on, we didn't do this to Biden. We'd love to have done it to Biden, but we didn't.
No, we lived our lives and we just went on because we were working and we had careers and we had things we had to do. We couldn't sit around and talk about this nonsense. But I thought what was really interesting, when Biden was in office and he comes in, they start talking about rich old white man. Well, what do you call Biden? You're the rich old white.
Oh, I know. Is
that what Biden is? A rich old black dude.
It makes no sense. And it's funny because all of that plays into it, like when I'm at work. So, I have to, because you have to be very politically correct. You have to, there's certain things you can't do because technically I fit that mold. I'm an old white guy. So if I do anything, the first thing they say, well, you're an old white guy. You can't make decisions like that. Well, I can because I'm actually in charge. But I also have to think way ahead because everybody's telling me what to do. Well, you should do this, you do this. Yeah, and if I do this, that'll happen. They go, oh, I didn't see that. Yeah, that's why I'm in charge. That's why I get paid more money than you, because I'm thinking about the big picture. You're thinking about the little picture. Okay, so this old white guy thing, it's
run its course. That's enough.
It has
enough already.
If you gave half of the people that want, to say things and have control. I've got people wanting my job, and I wouldn't even give them a shopping cart to look after because they're that dumb.
Oh my goodness. You're going to love this. Okay, so we went to Alabama last weekend, and Bobby Ledbetter, Twin City Used Cars, and all my sponsors down there wanted to do a few videos with them. It was so funny. We were so tired. And so I said, I'm hungry. Phil said he's hungry. And I said, I don't want to stop and eat like a full meal. Let's just stop at Arby's or something and just get one of those and just be done with it. And because we got to be fresh in the morning because, we have to get it really early to do that. And so I stopped at Arby's, and this one girl was there. And me, I always ask what the special is. And if I had $10 zillion, I would still ask for the special. That's just my personality. So anyway, the girl said, oh, it's $5 for the Arby's. And I said, for one? And she said, yeah. And I said, okay. And then she said, no, wait a minute. Wait, that doesn't start until 9 o'clock. And then I was looking at the menu and I said, well, I'm glad I'm early because I see right there, it says it's $4.60. I'll take 2 of those. So it was just, and it went completely over her head. I mean, bless her heart. I mean, that was like, and I told Phyllis I was trying really hard not to be a smart aleck, but it was just like, I would have said, oh my God, I'm so embarrassed. I didn't see that.
Yeah.
Wow.
So so one of the hotels that we had was the to the Americans, it was the Renaissance.
Mhm.
And I said, "Oh, you mean the Renaissance?" And they go like, "Why do you say it like that?" I said, "It's the Renaissance." I said, "If it's a French word,"
Come
I said,
on,
and that was the period of time, the Renaissance.
the Renaissance.
And one of the girls, she
The
goes,
one whose name
"How
is
do you-
Renee, you're actually referring to that, right?
yeah, how do you know that?" I said, "Because I went to school in England," and she was mortally offended. And I'm like, I'm not trying to be rude or anything, but I mean, again, if you want to ask questions and learn from that, that's fine. I'm not trying to be posh. I'm not trying to be anything more than what I am. I'm just telling you, it's called the Renaissance.
Okay. So, okay, there are three people who remind me of each other. That would be you, Phil, and my dad. Okay, so just pop out whatever in your mouth. So we had an employee with us one time, and so she was like brand new on the job, and I was training her. And so Phil walks up, and he's not really paying any of us any attention. And so this employee said, "When is lunch?" I mean, she was kind of cowardly like anyway. And after I hired her, I was like, why did I hire her? But anyway, so she said, "When is lunch?" Well, Phil just walked by and said, "Didn't you eat yesterday?" And then he walked on by, and she started crying. And I'm like, "Why are you crying?" I mean, I was like, I grew up with this, so it's nothing that upsets me. But we have a crying nation. They cry over silly little things like
That's
that.
funny.
Why would you cry because somebody said, "Didn't you eat yesterday?" I mean,
Because it's hurty word, you see. That's the trouble is that, see, I'm British. So there is an art in Britain of the put down, of the sarcastic remark, of, and certain words that you can use doing that. And I love it when Americans go over there and they ingratiate themselves into the culture and then go like, I love it, because if you go to Britain, they're always put downs. I mean, everybody has a nickname for you. You might not like it, but you're going to get a nickname. I mean, they do it here. Some of the put downs are great, and some of the sarcastic. I mean, even here, I have to watch myself sometimes because I know that if I go down that road, it's a long, rocky road and it's going to get me into trouble. So I just have to back off that gas pedal a little bit. It's like my brother. So today it's his 30th wedding anniversary. Okay.
Happy anniversary.
Yeah, I mean, happy anniversary to my brother, and because I was like messaging him this morning, like, and him and Deb, and I'm like, hey, happy anniversary, have a great day. And because then when Tony, she goes, "What were you doing?" I said, "I was just messaging Tony and Deb saying happy anniversary." She said, "Oh, how long have they been married?" 30 years. And she literally was on the verge of saying something. I said, "Don't you dare. Don't you dare." Because I know she's going to say, "Well, why couldn't you be more like him?" Something down those roads. And she just went,
Never mind.
I was about ready because, hey, he has had the good run, but then he looks like he's been run over, hung out dry, and beat up really bad. And he's 3 years younger than me, but looks 10 years older. Because, sometimes it works for you, sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah, well, I'm 7 years older than my sister.
You look younger. My brother hates it when people go
boring. Oh God, she hates it too. I mean, it really ticks her off when people think I'm her and she's me.
Yeah, they'll go like, "So Rick's your younger brother then?" And he's like, "No, he's 3 years younger, older than me." I'm like, "Yeah, I know. Just look 10 years."
I'm gonna tell you, you and I talked about when people were taking the jab. And we were ridiculed because we wouldn't take it, and and my brother, like I'm killing mother because I'm not taking the jab and all this kind of stuff. So it was revealed to me because he took every freaking shot that was out there. I'm just telling you, if they said take it, they did it. And so now his wife has revealed that he's wishing he hadn't done it. Now he'll never tell me, and he never watches my shows. But anyway, he'll watch this one. But I'm just telling you, it's his health is.
Oh yeah.
Something is wrong. I mean, people who took this jab,
especially if you went down the road. I mean, I took 2. I had to take 2 because I needed to go see my kids, and that was the only way I could get to travel. And then after that, I'm like, you know what? I ain't taking any more. I don't care what you tell me. You can fire me, whatever. And so my mum, she took 3, and I'm like, Mum, you need to stop. You don't need it. You don't need it. I don't think my brother took any, but he didn't need to anyway. He's just aged because he's aged. But like even now, when you find out some of the stuff that's going on with people that went on, there's a DJ in England called Tony Blackburn. He's in his 80s, and he was saying the other day he just went for his 16th COVID shot, and I'm like, what? Even after you're a public entertainer, you're on the radio, and you know the truth because they've already told you this, and you're going still to have the 16th shot, and you're like, that's nuts. Why would you do that?
I guess I don't understand it. I don't know why you would.
No, it's like when people go like, now, oh yeah, one of my friends the other day, she goes, I've got COVID. I've just got through COVID. I'm like, okay. She goes, well, it's COVID. I'm like, yeah, it's not anything more than the flu, darling. It's the flu. It was the flu back then, and it's the flu now. It's still the same. They were killing people because they were putting them on ventilators and giving them the wrong medication.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
And it worked out so good for me because, I have asthma. And so I was renting space at a radio station, and the lady really hoped I would buy it. It was broken down equipment. Phil would call half the time I was off the air. So it really worked out to my benefit. And she said, you really make me nervous because you're going to line up on the ventilator, and you can do this from your house. She said, talk show hosts are doing that now. And I said, I don't know that I'd be able to do that. And she said, you can do it. Do it. So I did. Haven't looked back. I am so glad I started doing this. My career started like, it was not like just in that one little town anymore.
Yep. No. I mean, it was a good thing. Yeah. That all that happened for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember going.
Bring us down, didn't?
Yeah, I remember going to that radio studio with you one time.
Yeah, I remember you going to the one in Fort Payne, and
Yes.
I was embarrassed for you to be there. The guy smoked like a chimney, and that's where I got the asthma, by the way.
Yeah.
It stunk. And they actually came in while he was on his morning show and shut him down. The sheriff came and shut it down. I had nothing to do with it. I'm thinking, I was going to do it. I don't know what happened. I think it was people who owned the building or something. I don't know, but it was not me. I did not do that. I just walked on. I mean, I just walked away from it and did something else.
No, I mean, you actually grow. I mean, when you think about it, I mean, you've grown exponentially since that time anyway. So it was the smart thing to do.
Thank
you
you,
walked away when
Jesus.
you needed to walk away.
Thank you, Jesus. I'm so glad I did that. We're going to have to call it a day, Rick. Thank you so much for being with me on the show, even with your sarcasm. I
haven't even started yet.
But thanks. No, you keep being you, okay?
I'm not changing. Don't worry. I'm not changing.
You would never change. But thank you again so much. Thank you for being a friend of those years. And thank you guys so much for watching the show. Continue sending email. It makes my day. It really does. So keep doing that. Donna at donnasedge.com. Donna at donnasedge.com. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.
Because of your overwhelming support, our 1488 MyPillow has been one of the biggest sales in MyPillow history. I couldn't think of a better way to say thank you than to extend our wholesale pricing through Christmas. Get a classic standard MyPillow for only $14.88. Upgrade to a queen size, just $18.88. King size, only $1 more. Get my body pillows for only $29.88. And ready? Multi-use MyPillows, only $9.88. It's perfect time to stock up for Christmas gifts for everyone on your list. Go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code to take advantage of our wholesale pricing. Including my classic standard MyPillows, only $14.88. But that's not all. I'm so confident you're going to love our classic MyPillows that I'm going to extend my 60-day money-back guarantee until March 1st, 2025. Plus, orders over $75 ship absolutely free.